Hey Charlie, why is Yoda bad at geometry?
I don't know.
This is from my wife. Because to him there are no triangles, only do or do not angles.
Miles, that is terrible. That is terrible.
I'm
Yeah.
actually, I'm actually speechless. That's dreadful.
Ah,
Well, I suggesting Jedi.
That's no moon. It's a space station.
Always a pleasure to meet a Jedi.
And my allegiance is to the Republic, to democracy!
You failed your Highness. I am a Jedi.
right, hello explorers, I'm Jack. Welcome to episode 116, and as always, thank you very much for joining us. Now, if you like what you hear, please leave us a rating on your podcast provider of choice, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe if you're joining us via YouTube.
Yes, and as always, welcome back or welcome along if you're new. I'm Charlie, and at last the trio is complete. Hi everyone, I've missed you. Have you guys missed me?
Of course.
Oh yeah,
Ah, stuff it. Jack, how are you doing, my dude? How are you?
really good, really well. Been on a shopping spree at Edmonton Mall, the largest mall in North America. So more on that later on in the show. But yeah, it's been a long time since us three have been on at once together. I think it has. We've just been so busy. There's loads going on. Jimmy's got a big weekend ahead. Jimmy, how have you been?
I am I'm tired. Back to work. This is terrible. Terrible to have to work a full day. So, no, I'm good. Excited for this weekend. Lots of new stuff in my life. So, just getting on with that and driving on. So, Charlie, how about you? Like you've been through it.
Non-stop.
So yeah, I don't know. Remember what I said, where I'm at, and what language you're allowed to use to explain how things are going.
Things have been really interesting the last couple of weeks. My patience has been very tested, and I'm being really big and really brave and holding it together. For anyone who is not watching, I am still not in my new house. I am still not moved. Unfortunately, it has been delayed and delayed and delayed, but we shall carry on. And hopefully, this week I will hear some good news. So, everyone, keep your fingers, toes, arms, and legs crossed for me, please. And thank you.
So last week I asked who killed Savage Press, Maul's brother, and the answer is obviously Darth Sidious. And this week's question, I'm going to keep it in line with the theme, is what did George Lucas want to call Luke? What did George Lucas want to call Luke? If you know, let us know in the comments, inboxes, and we'll add your name to the Hall of Fame if you get it right. Congratulations to Eric Spence this week for giving me the right answer of Darth Sidious. Over to you, Charlie.
Yeah.
So, a fun fact for this week. Did you know that George Lucas and Steven Spielberg have been lifelong collectors and curators of fine art, specifically paintings by the American artist Norman Rockwell? The pair have spent the majority of their lives collecting and dealing in these works, and it's often rumored that between them they have the largest collection of Rockwell originals. This will
Oh,
make more sense a little bit later on in the episode. But yeah, I did not know that George was such a prolific collector of fine art. And if people aren't familiar with Norman Rockwell paintings, I suggest you go and look him up. They are the absolute kind of like slice of life of Americana. They're just such a beautiful representation of America and American culture, and it's highly recommend.
Looking now. Never even heard of him.
Ha!
oh wow. It's definitely an American icon.
Okay, okay, nice. Right, let's head over then to this week's Force Encounters.
For my ally is the Force.
All right, so I've got two. So like everyone's heard, I'm starting a new job, and I was thinking about hiding my Star Warsness. And I thought maybe I wouldn't give people the, like I don't want people to judge me before they know me. Then I was like, you know what? That is me. I am Star Wars. So I just decided to go with it. Got my everything with all my Star Wars buttons and things like that on it with my ID lanyard. I mean, it's just loaded. Feels like I feel
Nice.
like an '80s rapper with all the gold chains and stuff on. So that thing's real heavy. Backpack and been embraced. People were asking me questions and things like that, and been kind of pushing the podcast. And then of course this weekend, so a lot of the stuff I've been doing is prepping to decide like who I'm going to meet this weekend at
Yep.
Rebel Scum Con. Looking at the panels, how I'm going to get to Tiara's panel and back over here and do this stuff. It's going to be a busy weekend. But yeah, so lots of force encounters, kind of just get my feet wet at the new school with being the Star Wars guy, and then getting ready for Rebel Scum Con. So I'm pretty excited for all that. What about you, Jack?
Love it. I love that, mate. I am Star Wars. That's class. I love that line. Yes. So like I mentioned at the start of the show, I went to Edmonton Mall, had a look around, and there was a whole host of Star Wars goodness in that mall. I seen a Han Solo figure, which should be on our socials by now. They wanted $1,000 for it. I'd never seen it before in my life, so it's obviously quite rare. And the biggest fan of the show, Tessa, my daughter, she's got a little library here at the army base. She's been giving me some books to read on Star Wars, bless her. So she's brought me Star Wars Adventures. It's all on her account as well. Vader's Castle. Excited to see that one. And this one I've never even heard of as well. It's Star Wars Clone Wars, but on the front of it, it's got a Chiss, the same species as Thrawn.
Ooh.
So yeah, like a Jedi, strange ally. So I'm looking forward to that. And then yeah, just reverting back to the Edmonton stuff. Obviously, I can't go away without a bit of Star Wars Lego, can we?
There we
Brickhead,
go. Okay.
Yeah.
amazing. Did not know these existed. 5 in the box. We've got Padme, Anakin, Grievous, Emperor Palpatine, and obviously my boy Mace Windu. So we'll be changing the outcome of Mace Windu via Lego brickheads. So yeah, I might wait till all my gear comes. I'm still waiting for my PC and that to come. So I want to do that on a stream of some sort with the Star Wars Lego enthusiasts. Charlie, what about you?
So I've obviously had a week of being very big and very grown up, and haven't really had much time to connect with Star Wars. But what I did have time for is to sit down and listen to the George Lucas, Doug Chang, Guillermo del Toro panel at San Diego Comic Con. There were quite a lot of copies online of people who'd recorded it, and it was a good, like, nearly an hour. And I just specifically want to read you guys this quote from George Lucas that says it's about what he really thinks makes something art. He said, I think it's more about an emotional connection with the work, not how much it costs or what celebrity did it. It's more a personal thing. And I don't think it's anything that anybody else can tell you. That's art, that's not art. If you have an emotional connection, then that's art. It's the idea that people can tell you what art is and talk about it. I've discovered just from my experience of making movies and things that other people's opinions don't mean much. The only thing that really means something is what you do and what you feel about it.
Nice.
And
Yeah,
That's
absolutely.
as an artist whose work and workflow was heavily disrupted by the pandemic, it's not something I've felt the most connected to over the last couple of years. If anything, I felt quite a lot of resentment towards it. And honestly, sitting and listening to these absolute titans discuss such kind of wonderful, broad human concepts has been so inspiring and so beautiful. And like, I'll dig into it all a bit further on in the show. But yeah, it was just amazing. If you haven't watched it yet, please go and watch it because it's beautiful. It's absolutely amazing.
Insane. Right, let's head over then to this week's news coming out of Batu.
The people in this crowd will soon be among almost 40,000.
For those who are among the 900 with news media or promotional tickets, this sneak preview probably will be the only chance to see The Empire Strikes Back.
Guys, we're getting tickets. We're doing a group cinema trip. I don't care how much it costs to put me on a plane. I'm coming. I'm on my way. On April the 30th of 2027, we will be celebrating the 50th anniversary of Star Wars with a re-release of the 1977 classic A New Hope back for a limited time in theaters everywhere globally. Let's go. Part of Lucasfilm's year-long 50th anniversary celebration, Star Wars A New Hope will play in theaters over the May the 4th holiday, also known as Star Wars Day. Now, I have seen some theories as to whether this will be the very first original version of A New Hope or the version we all currently know that's on Disney Plus that a lot more people have seen. Ever since that BFI screening of the original version where Kathleen Kennedy turned up and it went down so well with people, I really wonder which version they're going to be using. What do you guys think?
Hmm. I think they should do the original. I mean, that's where it
Yeah.
started. I mean, I would assume that's what they're going to do. I hope that's what they're going to do. I think that it would bring a lot of people out of the woodwork to go see it again. If it was, I mean, because I mean, unless you have some pirated copy of it or something from the '80s, it's hard to find. So, as Charlie smiles, because she would never do anything like that. How about you, Jack?
Yeah, now I'm with you. This, do you know how many editions there have been since 1977? Like 4 different special editions. You got 1997, 2004, 2011, 2019. So yeah, I looked into it a little bit. So as to why it's caused so much debate. So I'm thinking with you there, Jimmy. I'd like to see the 1977 theatrical cut of it. Um, I'm wondering as well where in the UK it will be shown. I'm hoping London Leicester Square will have something decent on. Um, yeah, who knows? But yeah, interesting news.
Can't
What other news? Go on, Jimmy.
wait for that year. Like
Oh,
the 50th anniversary of Lucasfilm. Like, what's that year going to be like for Star Wars? I mean, because you're going to have that. You're going to have we're going to be getting back from Celebration. I
yeah.
mean, and that's just one movie. Like, you know, they're going to do something with everything. You know what I mean? Like, there's going to be Legos, there's going to be Funko, there's going to be 3 3/4,
Oh,
there's going to be Black Series, there's going to be, I mean, it is going to be like my 50th is in 2026. And Molly's like, well, what do you want? I'm like, let's just hold off until 2027. We'll celebrate my 50th then because I'm going to want a lot of stuff. So, but yeah, I'm pretty excited for that. I didn't realize that I was looking over this stuff like 50 years, man. That's crazy. Um, Next thing we got here, thanks to Deadline for this summary. In a recent interview with GQ ahead of his new film, The Naked Gun, Liam Neeson talks about his death in The Phantom Menace. This would have been a great for last week. The Oscar nominee recently expressed dissatisfaction with his Jedi Master character Qui Gon Jinn in Star Wars Episode 1, The Phantom Menace, noting that he was supposed to be a Master Jedi but got duped during a lightsaber duel. I
yeah.
thought my death was a bit namby-pamby. I like that word. I'm supposed to be a Master Jedi, he told GQ. My character fell for that. Oh, I'm going for your face. Oh, no, I'm not. I'm going for your stomach. Oh, you got me. Like, oh, please, hardly a Master Jedi. But still, it was great. Noted Neeson by the filming experience. Congratulations to Liam and Pamela Anderson. They make a beautiful couple. Are they together?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I didn't realize that was Pamela Anderson because, like, you know, I'm used to Baywatch Pamela Anderson.
Hmm.
And so I was like, who is this woman with this name, Pamela Anderson? And then I was like, she just seems like such a different person, like happier, like
She
in
is
her interviews and stuff.
so she's glowing. Like whatever like part of her life she's reached, she is so healed and so it makes me
Yeah,
so happy to see. Like she's
so
glowing and seeing
cool.
them together makes me really happy. Just mm.
Yeah, I saw the clip for this article. Someone posted it, and thought that was pretty cool. And then I saw somewhere where they asked Pamela and Liam if they were together, and they were like, you know, kind of skirting around the issue. But that was pretty cool. They both seemed pretty happy, so it's fun.
Yeah, I think I'd be glowing if I was dating Liam Neeson as well. Right, we've had some possible updates as well regarding the Sean Levi Ryan Gosling film Star Wars Starfighter and Takiki Watiti. Someone say it
Taika
properly.
what Taika Waititi.
Brilliant, thank you. Still untitled movie. So after that, now take the source in from this with a pinch of salt, because again we've had loads of rumors and stuff like that. But director Sean Levi's Star Wars film was given a title earlier this year, which we know is Star Wars Starfighter. Nexus Point News has learned that Carbon Mist is the working title for this project, and Blue
Ooh,
Mist Productions is the production name. Nexus has also learned the working title for another Star Wars project in development, Cosmic Doom. Cosmic Doom is the working title for
Taika
Taika Waititi.
Waititi.
long awaited Star Wars film, and Ghost Truck 6 is the production name. The interpretation and pronunciation of his name, of these titles, is left for your discretion for the time being. What do we think, guys? It's no Blue Harvest, in my opinion. Go for it, Charlie.
So I'm going to be honest with you. I only picked this story up so I could have a little bit of a moan about it. I think it's nonsense. I really do think it's nonsense. Obviously, they've gone with like a cosmic doom because we've just had Fantastic Four come out. We've got like Doomsday coming up. Like Marvel's really, really popular at the moment. So I feel like that's where that comes from. And like Blue Harvest wasn't kind of weeded out as the secret production name for Star Wars until way after A New Hope came out. So this is I don't know if this is the sort of thing that gets leaked early. I don't know how you guys feel. I think it's rubbish, but it's fun. It's fun and silly.
Surely
I
not.
Yeah, I think it's all malarkey and people are just trying to get clicks.
McClunky.
I like the Kyber Mist though, like at least it's Star Wars related, and then you got Blue Mist, kind of the Blue Harvest thing. So it's weird that they both have Mist in the title, or is
Hmm.
that well, that's a production company, I guess. So that's fine. But yeah,
I didn't
I
realize
don't,
there were also like production names and secret
yeah,
film. Like I thought there was just one. It.
yeah, I'm very confused. But if Taika Waititi's film is getting some push. I mean, I know that they were struggling with the
Mhm.
closing third act. Um, that'd be pretty cool if we're getting that in like 29 or something.
Yeah,
So, I mean, I am almost 50. I only have a few more years of watching Star Wars, so I need them to pump some stuff out.
you're good yet. You're good yet, Jimmy.
All right. Whew, this is a mouthful. Get comfortable. All right. So last month we lost another individual. I'm sorry. Last month we lost another influential and talented member of the wider Star Wars family, Jack Opa Hay, a senior artist and a vital part of Industrial Light and Magic for 18 years. Wow, that's a long time. ILM shared a very touching post via their social media, and having read this very detailed obituary, I wanted to make sure we took a moment and gone over it. So here it is. Throughout his life, Jack wore many hats, both literally and figuratively. A skilled carpenter in his early years, but he built custom homes around Mendocino, California, before joining the pioneering visual effects team at ILM. There, he contributed to films as diverse as Back to the Future Part 3, Mars Attacks, The Phantom Menace, Minority Report, Pirates of the Caribbean, and Transformers, to name just a few. He was a founding member of the Visual Effects Society and a proud member of IATSE Local 16, serving as a union representative, stagehand, and technician on countless productions. For more than 27 years, Jack was an integral and legendary part of Burning Man community, bringing art, light, and joyful irreverence to the desert and beyond. In 2000, he collaborated on the creation of the Temple of the Mind, followed in 2001 by the Temple of Tears. So Jack was also extremely active in his local community, clearly touched many people's lives with his light, joy, creativity, and talent. May the force be with him and his family at this time. That's pretty cool when you have a group like that. To me, like we were just talking about legacy today in some of our school meetings. Like, what's your legacy? You know, and
Mm.
you hear someone talk like about like this,
Mm,
it just makes you feel good that and I appreciate more now, and you guys can tell me about this because, like, when I was growing up, we never thought about the producers, the directors, the people behind the scenes. And I don't know if I had the capacity for it when I was younger, but now as an adult, and I just love the fact that these people were almost as big as stars as some of these other,
Mhm.
and it's a little late for him, obviously, but it's nice that he's getting that representation.
yeah, yeah, totally agree. Again, just like Jimmy mentioned there, all our thoughts are with his friends and family at this time.
I did a little bit of digging. Like his this is like a small section of his obituary. The whole thing is quite a few pages long and a really, really fascinating read if you have the time. He was a pioneer of digital tech and digital modeling in the early days of ILM, and somebody that was so instrumental in what we consider as like modern day CGI. And it makes my heart incredibly happy to see these people, even if it's after their passing, it's still wonderful to see them so recognized and made such a kind of immortal part of the Star Wars story. And this leads me so nicely onto the kind of next topic. Before we get into the main show, and I know it might seem like I'm late to the game, I have been away for a few weeks, my apologies. We have to talk about this George Lucas San Diego Comic Con panel, and specifically the first formal announcement of a museum. This
Yeah.
absolutely stunning temple to architecture, art, and creativity has been under construction in LA since 2018, and I feel like I'm almost annoyed that I've missed anything about it. So, settle in for the panel. Not only does George, the icon, the legend, the maker himself appear on stage, he's also joined by Doug Chang, who I love to see, an absolute legend in his own right. And then Guillermo del Toro appears, who, if anybody knows me, knows that he's one of my favorite directors. His mind works in ways that I could never comprehend, but I enjoy and experience and like love to experience. And it kicks off is a panel that I never even dreamed I'd have the pleasure of listening to. These are dream conversations that I've had in my head between these kinds of people, and instead they're just sitting down and talking about one of my favorite things in the world, which is art. Shout out to the 6,500 people that were in attendance at Hall H on that day. I'm not jealous in the slightest. So I'm just going to super quickly bring some images up because you guys need to look at this. And people, if you're not watching the video
Insane.
episode, go and watch it now. Here is everything we know about the soon to open Lucas Museum of Narrative Art. It has been co-founded by the icon himself, George Lucas, and his wife, Melody Hobson. The Lucas Museum is the first museum dedicated exclusively to visual storytelling. Encompassing comics, illustration, photography, painting, and film, the mission is to connect people through stories conveyed by images and to highlight under-recognized artists and narratives that shape our society. At San Diego Comic Con, Lucas described it as a temple to the people's art. Now, I don't know how into art galleries or fine art you guys are, or museums in any way, shape, or form. I don't think I can convey to you what kind of experience this is going to be. This is, when I was listening to the panel specifically, Guillermo del Toro seems to be in charge of the pathway that you take through this museum, the route that you take and the way that you're guided through it. And if he has anything to do with it, it is going to be one heck of an experience. Here is another angle for you guys to enjoy. Look at this. This is an 11-acre campus in Exposition Park in Los Angeles, which is adjacent to the university and the LA Memorial Coliseum. It is a 5-story, 300,000 square foot structure that houses 100,000 square foot of gallery space, 2 theaters, a library, 10 learning studios, a restaurant, cafe, retail, and event spaces. Get me on a plane and get me there now. The building is designed by Maya Song, Mad Architects, which embodies a fluid, futurist, and organic style of design. This looks like a hovering spaceship. This looks like it has appeared from a galaxy far, far away and has just descended into the center of LA. It reminds me of the Guggenheim in New York, if anybody's had a chance to go or see the architecture like of that building specifically. The integration of sustainable materials like solar panels, lightweight aluminium, and green spaces on the roof really make this building feel like more than a museum or gallery. This is going to be an experience in harmony with its surroundings. I love some good architecture. So this seems like, from what we can gather, it's going to be a blend of a traditional art gallery and a space for both more than just what you would consider fine art. So the museum's holdings include works by Norman Rockwell, Frida Kahlo, Robert Colescott, Ernie Barnes, and so many more artists that I literally couldn't squeeze into this list. And this is where it gets really exciting. Not only are we getting so many beautiful examples of fine art, we are getting comic art and illustrations, originals by Jack Kirby, Charles Schultz, and Robert Crumb. The list does continue. Special archives include cinema archives of over 37,000 items documenting African American film history from 1904 onward. And then, if you didn't think it could get any more exciting, we have the Star Wars and Lucasfilm artifacts. While not exclusively a Star Wars shrine to the museum, it will exhibit original props, concept art, storyboards, costumes, and models from Lucasfilm, including Grievous's bike, Land Speeder, and buckle in, boys, a full-scale N1 Naboo starfighter.
I want to go.
See, this is how we make art accessible. This is how we make art for everybody. This isn't just a space for George and his contemporaries. There has been a huge focus on this space being for everyone. Narrative art plays such a huge part in our society from the very beginning of human existence to right now, and that should be accessible to everyone. Located in South LA with programming aimed at local schools, underrepresented communities, and community engagement via educational facilities built into this design, this museum aims to elevate narrative art and promotes that it should be used to express shared values, cultural identity, and social connection. I urge, if you have not had a chance, go and watch the full panel. It's available on YouTube, and listen to these ideas come from men that are much more eloquent and much more suited to speaking about this than I could ever be. This is set to open in 2026, so group trip.
That's insane. The whole design around that is insane, and to house those things like just in time, obviously for Star Wars LA. So why not make a trip to go to that?
Also, here's a little sneak peek of some concept art from the inside. So we're talking like big open spaces, everything flowing, everything free moving. Like it's going to be incredible.
That's nuts.
Yeah, this is going to be something I think like I appreciate art. I can't do it, so I appreciate it, but it's not something like, you know, but this is going to be so different. And it's going to have something for everybody. It's going to have something for kids, adults. I think the nostalgia that's going to be in there. I mean, you're talking the Peanuts. You're talking, creators
Yes.
of Superman, and what else they're going to have. And I bet you they're going to have these rotating, you know, pieces coming in and out of it, and just stuff from the movies. Like that's just, I don't know how you don't go. And I really, 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 as a teacher, I'm excited to hear about them. You said there's like 10 studios in there, like learning studios, learning labs. That's amazing. They're going to be reaching out to kids. I mean, think about some of the kids that are going to live in these like LA areas. If you've ever been
Oh
to LA, some of it's beautiful and some of it's some of the worst stuff I've ever seen in my entire life. And I can't
Hmm.
believe that there's Americans that have to live that way. And they're going to be finding kids who, and they're going to be bringing them in there and inspiring them. And, I work in a low income school, and it's like these kids don't even know this stuff exists. And if they see it, it is going to open the eyes of some boy or girl, and they're going to change the world because of the stuff that they've
Exactly.
seen. And it just kind of blows my mind. And I'm really proud that it's George Lucas is doing this. He all these billions of dollars, and he's not just squandering. He's not
No.
trying to get richer and you know mess over the American people. He's trying to give back to America, back to the culture. And I just, with everything that's going on in our country, it's beautiful to see someone who's worth so much money not be such a selfish jerk about it and just
mm,
give back. And I'm really, really excited for that. And I'm definitely planning my trip in 27. I'm going to either go early or
Hmm.
late. That will be
yeah,
probably the only time I leave celebration will be to go see that.
yeah.
Excuse me. Thank you guys for sitting with me while I went through all of that. I know that you kind of brushed over it and talked about it a little bit over a few episodes ago, but it deserves all of the love and the attention in the world. And obviously, it was massively, massively delayed by the pandemic, and it's so great to see it kind of back on track and ready to go. So I am unbelievably excited. Is everybody ready to pack up and head off to the main show? Because
Let's get it.
Gonna be a good one.
It's just a simple jump to hyperspace and we're there? What's so tricky about that?
Plenty. Can't plot a direct course to Kessel. You might wanna buckle up, baby.
hear ye, I bring forth great tidings of dubious origins. Legend says that Sam Witwer will be reprising his role in live action as Starkiller in season 2 of Ahsoka. Don't worry, explorers. I am not keeping that up for the whole of the main show. If you are following our Instagram, and if you're not, you should be because we're nearly at 10K. We would love to have you. You might have seen a post that our dear Jackie Boy Menace Maker up here shared. Someone, a stranger, a man in a cape, stands on a cliff looking over his shoulder, out into the distance with Ahsoka Season 2, and always two there are emblazoned on the image. Now, the caption breaks down this supposed rumour, and goodness me, did you lot absolutely go off on this post. 22,000 likes, 400 comments plus. I had planned to pick out the best of the best, but you simply just overwhelmed me too much. Every time I was going through, I was ending up with more. Um, I've stuck to a random selection, but hold on to your lightsabers because we have got a lot to cover.
We have, and those 22,000 likes and 400 comments are on Instagram alone. We've had no end of comments and feedback across all of the social media platforms. So, what is going on? So, Sam Witwer will allegedly be reprising his role as Starkiller from the EU games The Force Unleashed as the character the Sun in Disney's Plus live action Ahsoka season 2. Don't worry if you're confused, so are we. However, what's actually going on? There's a possibility Sam Witwer will reprise his role as the Sun in season 2 of Ahsoka as he voiced this character in the Clone Wars arc. Dave Filoni has made several hints in the past about how Ahsoka will become the daughter. However, I very much doubt this will be Starkiller as the Sun for reasons we're going to dive into in a little bit. Starkiller appears to be being used because that's a name that generates clicks and engagement, which we've had a lot of.
All right. Where did the rumor come from? I really don't know, to be honest with you. Some sources say a discussion at San Diego Comic Con, Jack maybe, but we watched the Lucasfilm panel, and they said nothing regarding the films, only about the museum, and there was specifically nothing to do with the movies this year. Every post we can find online in the last few weeks that directly relates to this topic is either our ETF post, Facebook groups, the Sith Archives, who go into a lot of detail about the whole thing, no legitimate source like THR, Variety, etc. So we have no idea where this started. Jack probably started it, and he's taken his shenanigans to the next level, I think.
One of you is out there straight up lying on the internet. Your mother would be disappointed. When will this be happening? Reportedly, season 2 of Ahsoka. And why do we think this is happening? Now, my honest answer is because news has been incredibly dry for the last few weeks. We are grasping at straws, and Facebook pages specifically around Star Wars love nothing more than a bit of clickbaity interaction.
Yeah.
But just because it might not be legitimate doesn't mean that it isn't worth discussing. Seriously, the entire Ahsoka season is about masters and apprentices. It could be really interesting to introduce a secret Vader apprentice. But for all of that, I think we need to break this discussion down into a couple of different parts.
Yeah.
Part number 1. Who is Starkiller? Why are people going crazy? And why is he so loved and adored and or hated? Don't worry, Jimmy. Don't worry. There's plenty of space for you to say what you need to say. The Starkiller, whose real name is Galen Marek, is a Force-sensitive human and the secret apprentice of Darth Vader in the very good, very, very good, I might add, Star Wars The Force Unleashed video game series that was released in 2008 and 2010. He was created outside of the Star Wars canon and currently remains currently remains only in the Star Wars extended universe.
However, we do see his armor or a variation of his armor in Luthen's gallery in the Andor series. So is that canon or not?
See, that's a really interesting one because I know people went absolutely mad when they saw that armor, but it is his armor, but it's also not his armor, and also we know that some of the things in Luthen's gallery are fakes. So I think it's another one of those just kind of little question mark things. I don't know. Jimmy?
There's no way. I mean, no, absolutely not. So, I mean, no.
Who knows? Because you got to think as well, the era that he came out was between Revenge of the Sith and A New Hope. So
Mm-hmm.
timeline-wise, it probably makes sense if it was his armor in Andor.
This is very true. So, Sam Witwer is the voice actor and face model for Starkiller in the Force Unleashed game. So, of course, any time Sam is even mentioned, breathed about, discussed, brought up, questioned. His face appears in an interview segment. Fans go absolutely nuts. Do I need to draw attention to the response at this year's Star Wars celebration? I had to adjust the levels on my telly at 3 o'clock in the morning. Y'all was screaming so loudly. And desperately want to see the character canonized. He's also Maul, he's the Grand Inquisitor, he's Palpatine in Battlefront 2. Man's getting his Star Wars credits in.
Oh yeah, and what a character! I'm a massive fan of the Starkiller,
Mm-hmm.
but I know fan opinion has been divided in the past. Yes, we all love the power of fantasy. I saw a Reddit comment that said he made me feel like a Sith Lord for the first time, and the fact that he can pull an entire Star Destroyer to the ground. I think yeah, maybe a little bit much for Star Wars, but again, we had a princess floating through space.
That's fair. I guess people who aren't the biggest fans level of criticism of Starkiller character that he's just way too overpowered. Like
Mm,
um, the point of insanity, like you said, he's pulling starships out of the sky. I mean, we saw Ray do something like hold one, but not be able to like. I mean, she ended up having to blow it up. I mean, that was like Sith Lord powers.
yeah,
Um, they argue that the very existence breaks the internal logic of Star Wars, and that the power it leveled against characters like Yoda and Vader, he actually undermines. Like it undermines everything. Like
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the character in the video games undermines everything, like everything that's Star Wars, and it gives these people who have. I'm gonna hold myself together here. But some even argue that he's the epitome of the 2000s anti-hero, and possibly cool, but ultimately very shallow. Does the character deserve another chance? And I don't think so. Like, keep him in video games. Um, I've played it. It's fine. It's not realistic. I mean, how realistic is Star Wars? But like, it's just
True.
over the top insanity, and I enjoyed it. I was very proud of our listeners, and I was surprised, but very happy to hear like a lot of people are like, no,
yeah,
it's too much.
Mm-hmm.
It would just skew. Think about the Phantom Menace, midichlorians, and that's as much as Master Yoda has, and people lost their minds.
yeah.
Now
Mm-hmm.
bring in, and they even made a reference to in the Last Jedi. What do you want me to go out there and face the whole thing? Well, if you're Starkiller, you could, right? Like Luke Skywalker, So it would screw everything up, and nobody would be happy. People like myself would be like, "This is ruining Star Wars." I would think people who love him aren't going to get what they want. And then
Exactly.
where do you go from there? Like people complain that like Superman got defeated in the movie. He's
Yeah.
getting beat up a bunch, but like you can't
Mm-hmm.
have an infallible, impenetrable. Like what kind of character? Like there's nothing to it if he can just beat everybody and no one can hurt him and nothing can do anything. Like that's not a good story. You can't have heroes. Oh, he's sad on the inside. Who cares?
He
I
has
love
got
Sam Witwer.
yeah.
I'm excited. I'm sure he's going to get bombarded this weekend at Rebel ScumCon because he will be there. So if I get the opportunity, I'll bring it up.
Get him, Jimmy.
Um, yeah, so we'll see what happens. I'm sure I won't be the only person who's interested in his takes and some of this stuff. But yeah, for me, and I'm trying to not like freak out about my opinions, but um, just seems
Yeah.
like mamby pamby nonsense, as Qui Gon Jinn would say.
Nice. The backstory behind him is brilliant. Son of a Jedi Knight who's of Order 66. His mum died during the Clone Wars. Vader discovers him on Kashyyyk. Essentially wants to make him overthrow Palpatine, and then assigns him to be essentially an Inquisitor. I really like Starkiller. I do totally agree that yes, it would be not ridiculous, but it would be absurd to have someone of that level of power in Star Wars. Because how do you beat someone that's pulling down a Star Destroyer essentially? I think they'll bring him in, but I think they might just tone it down a hell of a lot and work off a blank canvas maybe. Um,
People will lose their minds
oh
if
yeah,
they nerf him.
Yeah.
People who love Star Killer are going to freak out.
yeah.
I think. And I just
They've got to be really careful how they do this. Obviously, they've got Cal Kestis as well. They're looking at bringing him into live action, apparently. But I know that's a completely different Jedi. That's more on a level playing field.
he's a normal level Jedi, like we've seen them do.
Yeah,
And I'm not saying that I want I don't want more from my Jedi. Like I would. That's why one of the reasons I love the High Republic because we got so many things that we haven't
Yeah.
gotten in the movies. But
Hmm.
you can't have these guys being these ultimate war. I mean, it would take the entire Jedi Council to stop Starkiller.
Yeah.
And that
Ooh,
just
that'd be a good movie.
I'd be down.
That'd be a great movie. So they could actually do this and turn it on its head completely, and he does actually go rogue. I guess. I don't know. What do you think, Charlie? What's your thoughts on Starkiller?
So I've not like played completely through, but I have played bits of the Force Unleashed games, and I really really enjoyed it. I am a big fan of that like 2000s edgelord bad boy evil, morally grey character who's rogue and powerful and evil, but also tormented emotionally. I love it. I love it so much. I'm at the Twilight Hunger Games. That's like my era. So Starkiller fits into that box for me so, so nicely. But I am very, very aware that if they bring him into live action, they will nerf him. And for people who may not know what that means, they will remove all of his like excessive powers and abilities. They will minimize him as a character and minimize his abilities because obviously it would disrupt the balance of the rest of Star Wars. Like it would be such a rug pull and such a kind of wild 180 for them to pull if they brought Starkiller in fully. And that means maybe people like Jimmy would be happy, who like kind of like the character, but also ridiculous and overpowered. But for people like me and Jack who are like, yeah, Starkiller, to have him depleted would just annoy us. You
Yeah.
can't please anybody by bringing him in any way, shape, or form, and I do think that's why his armor was shown in Andor because it was just this little kind of like hat tip to, we know you're there, we see you, like we acknowledge that Starkiller is a really cool character and an important part of Star Wars history, but he stays where he stays, which is in this weird limbo extended universe place. Regardless of how people have somehow managed to connect like a Starkiller to the sun, we'll get into that a little bit later. I don't think he's the right character for Sam to be. I think if Sam was going to be a face character, like an or like an on camera face character, it would be most likely the sun. I feel
Okay.
Starkiller,
I
I
think
love you, but not this time, babe.
Sam needs to be a character. Like he's done so much for Star Wars. He loves it.
Hmm.
He knows inside out and backwards. In the early days of the Schmodown when they do Star Wars trivia, he was one of the ones battling for championships. Like while being in Star Wars, he's the reason that Maul had the correct lightsaber in Solo because they were going to give him the wrong saber, and Sam's like, "Whoa, no,
Hmm.
whoa, wait." So I mean, this guy, and I know I'm coming out off Starkiller, but none of that's towards Sam. Like I love Sam. I can't wait to meet him again. I mean, this will be like my third or fourth time. Anytime he's anywhere, I always make
I
an
hate
opportunity
you.
for it. So, but yeah, it's just
It's a difficult one. I mean, the story
I
behind him as well. Obviously, in the first game, essentially he dies. He sacrifices himself to
Hmm.
protect the rebels. And in the second game, you're sort of playing a clone, so you can choose light or dark, but ultimately die again. So
yeah.
where they go from that and how they build it into canon is probably going to be pretty difficult. But we know that Dave Filoni and some other people as well, mainly Dave, like to bring in some EU references and nods
They
here and
do.
there.
Yeah, but I mean, the Sun would be a great character from the play. Super powerful. I mean, the Sun is powerful. Like if you've watched the Mortis arcs,
Hmm.
that trio is not to be trifled with. I mean, the father has to stay there and is trying to make Anakin. I know we're gonna get into it, but like he needs someone so powerful to keep him in check. So you'd still get Sam getting the like super powerful dark side kind of thing. I think it would be beautiful, like, and it would be something that could be revisited. I mean, Sam is 50 years old. I mean, I know he looks like he's in his 20s, but the guy is like almost 50, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw that the other day and I
Whoa.
was like, "Wait, what?" But yeah, I think that the sun would be like ideal for him. And then you could just keep bringing it back. Like you could just recall
Hmm.
that because it's not something that goes away. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that whole concept. Like so,
I can absolutely see how people have connected like Starkiller and the Sun, like super powerful character in canon, super powerful character out of canon. Both of them are connected by Sam. It feels like that feels like a logical connection, like a logical kind of line to take between the two characters. But I still, I, I want to see him. I want to see Sam have something that he can really sink his teeth into. If this is going to be him on screen for something as big
Yeah.
as
Yes.
Ahsoka, a movie, just anything. Like, not that his voice acting skills are sensational, but let me see him. I think that would just
The
be
only
so incredible.
the only thing I've ever seen him in is Doomsday in Smallville on the WB. He
Oh
played
gosh, of course he's
Doomsday.
in
He showed up.
Smallville.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So yeah, and he'll be 48 this October. So I needed to find out his moisturizing routine. So
Hmm. Yeah, please ask Sam Whitwell what his skincare routine is. Thank you.
I'm going to do that with ETF exclusive coming from Marvel ScumCon.
Brilliant. Like we said, so we've had a whole ton of fan responses about Starkiller, and it is quite divided. What's the first lot
Hmm.
we've got, Charlie?
So, Clown Brandalorian, love you, my guy, said, I'm team no. Character is too much for canon, but a perfect Legends What If character. I would love like a Tales of the Jedi, Tales of the Empire, like episode kind of thing.
Oh yeah,
Starkiller. I would love some of the EU characters captured in that way. That would be super cool. So I love that, Brando. Thank you.
Make
And
him a Lego character.
yeah,
Rebuild the galaxy character.
stop it. That would be so good. Can you imagine angry little Starkiller as a Lego figure? Brilliant. My, My wonderful, lovely dealing in absolutes, Sydney said, I don't think Starkiller feasibly can be a part of the Star Wars films because he's literally way too OP, overpowered. As I'm sure many other people have said, I would love to see him in some capacity or even just mentioning referencing would be super cool, but he's too much for a Star Wars film, in my opinion. Also, I don't think that they could actually get it right. I think that whatever they did to nerf Starkiller would kind of mess up his character big time, and in turn take away from what a great and iconic character he already is within other parts of the Star Wars universe. It's the same with the idea of peak Luke Skywalker. I genuinely don't think that they could do it and get it right. Even if they did, it would end up ruining a lot of other characters for the sake of Starkiller being overpowered and at his full capacity. That is such a good comparison point. If people want to talk about Starkiller, we also need to talk about like EU legends, peak Luke Skywalker, Mara Jade is my wife. I am the most powerful thing that has ever existed on like in the universe.
That would be an interesting topic to think about. Sid has a really good idea there. Like, what was Luke like in his prime? We're getting glimpses of it in the comics,
Hmm.
but that's a really good point. A lot of good points. But I was super pumped when I saw this, when Sid pushed this out there. I was like, that's my girl. Yeah.
that is good.
Oh,
I
she's
think that's
good.
part of the issue. I think that's part of the issue. What people struggle with as well is obviously probably Jimmy's generation. Luke Skywalker was the go-to hero for Star Wars. He was the Jedi that nobody could beat. And I think with the sequel stuff, obviously Ray came along, and people struggled with the fact that Ray was and is more powerful than Luke.
What
Regardless,
we've seen, yeah, like what we've seen. Like, I think people are making these assumptions, but yeah, I mean, I don't know.
yeah.
But yeah, good point. That's a good point too, Jack.
Some more good points we've got. So Ed's Flood said, I feel like the only way to make Starkiller canon is to remove everything that makes him Starkiller. So it's kind of what we've said. You
Yeah.
can change where he is in the timeline or change his master or his upbringing. But at the end of the day, his character and story is intrinsically tied to being Vader's apprentice. And that just doesn't work in what we have now. Also, the power scalers would get so mad. So completely echoing what we've already mentioned. Go on, Jimmy.
Where does he fit? Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I think Ed brings up a really great point, is like timeline wise, like where do you put him? Like, we're starting to fill in all those gaps. So
Yeah.
like, where is he during the Kenobi series? Like, if he's really that powerful,
Hmm.
listen, I know that's a personal thing. And then we have all this Inquisitor stuff. Like, I think that the timeline, if they introduce him, it's going to have to be something different.
Yeah. Totally agree. Another comment that we got is from Jedi Master Eric. I think they could do a great little what if season for him, cartoon or anime, but not live action. So again, echoing what Charlie was talking about, seeing a little animated or a what if. What else have we got, Jimmy?
All right. On our Instagram here, we got Old Man Rex says Starkiller will be in Ahsoka season 2, and the end with Anakin as the father, Starkiller as the son, and Ahsoka as the daughter, the master, and both apprentices.
That's a
That would
bold
be,
shout.
You know what?
yeah.
I love someone who's like, this is my opinion, and this is what I think is going to happen. So hell yeah for that, old man Rex. I really, really appreciate that. But
The man
also,
Rex comes.
we have got so much to unpack about this, guys. Yes, no, like it makes sense, but it also doesn't make any sense at all. I'm also kind of on the side of the group of people that think that the Mortis arc doesn't make a lot of sense. So, what's going on here?
Yeah. At J Robbins 06 says if they severely weaken nerf him, possibly. At Matthew W. James said, yes, I think they should make him canon. At Dylan does cosplay. I also think what would be really, 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 I added a couple reallys, just one though, interesting to me is that Starkiller has always been in canon. He's just been the secret. Oh, okay. So when the original concept of Starkiller was that he was Darth Vader's own secret apprentice beyond Darth Sidious, and that he was training Starkiller to be the next line of Sith word to overtake the Emperor, and then him, Darth Vader, rule the galaxy together. So I think in canon, Darth Vader has always had Galen Merrick, aka Starkiller, as his apprentice. He's just been that secret and kept hidden from the Emperor. Now, that's a good point.
Mm.
Because I mean, there's precedent for it in canon. Darth Maul,
Hmm.
and if I guess it with Plagueis. I know Plagueis isn't canon yet, but like if that story is true, then he's practicing. He's canon, but the story that we know of him is not canon.
Yeah.
Plagueis. So like,
Mm.
this could make sense in that fact. Like,
Mm.
maybe he finds him right before the end of Return of the Jedi, and he's just out there roaming. I don't know, but that's really good. I like that one, Dylan. That's really good. What else do we got?
Um, T. Sunri 117 said Sam Witwer is the most precious person with love and constructive value to the franchise as a whole. I fear that they might waste his talents and potential given how bad the series went last season. Let's hope not. I think that's fair. I think that's fair. Sam has been incredibly dedicated to the community, to Star Wars, to the fandom. Like Jimmy said, there are many, many instances of him providing kind of more information than the people who are directing and producing would have, and these kind of little details and these things that are so important to him. Kendu said the Starkiller I grew up on was casually pulling spaceships out of orbit and dropping it on armies. I don't see Disney co-signing on that. LOL. And Jay Moore Sith Lord finished up and said, "This would be a step in the right direction, Disney, Sydney on the mind. Step in the right direction, Disney." To be honest, other than the few people who are blasting us for our reading comprehension, yes, we know it's a clickbaity story. Let us enjoy it, please. Um, there was a lot of positive response. A shout out to every single person who replied in GIF form. You are all extremely funny. That has kept me giggling for the last couple of hours just going through. They're so funny. So many people like mind-blowingly excited at even the mention of Starkiller.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm interested.
Yes. Same. Big time. And then the next big thing, obviously, the big topic coming out of this is the whole Mortis arc. So, on that bombshell, I think we cut it short this week, perhaps, and look forward to the next couple of episodes covering the Mortis arc.
If you want, also, like as we're going into this, Taylor and I back in the day, I cannot remember which episodes they were, but we did do a massive breakdown of the three episodes. You go in there if you want to get a head start on that.
Hmm.
Listen, Taylor brought up Taylor and I had a great discussion. I think it was like one of the first times that it
Yeah.
was just Taylor and I, and we just sat down, we were talking about it, and we're both like, "Oh, we're going to do this in one episode," and we went like an hour and something just on the first episode, a 23-minute, show. So it was really good. And then, of course, we'll come back and, we never got to really hear Jack and, of course, Charlie. And then we'd love probably to hear what everybody else thinks. Like, what do you think of the Mortis arc, before next week? And then does that scratch your itch for Sam Witwer being the son? Was that enough if you don't get Starkiller? Like, there's a lot of questions we can kind of dive into next week if we, for that.
And we could have Sam Witwer's input on it, yeah.
Yes, and his nighttime routine that makes him so beautiful and
Yes.
handsome.
Yeah, tune in for that.
Ah, tune in for that exclusive from Explore the Force. That's the only bit of news we'll be getting out of Rebel ScumCon is Sam Witwer's exclusive skincare routine, daytime and nighttime, I might add. So, in conclusion, for the part one of this episode, we don't actually think at Explore the Force that Starkiller is coming to Ahsoka season 2. But we do think that maybe the son, the daughter, and the father will be a huge, huge part of the plot for season 2, especially surrounding our favorite character, Baylan Skoll. There are strong hints at Ahsoka being the daughter and Anakin being the father, so it only makes sense that speculation is running absolutely wild at the moment. Thank you immensely to everyone who got involved, shared their thoughts and feelings, and please keep it coming. We love, 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 love it.
All right. Yes, I mean, this is good stuff though, like Star Killer and all that. And I think we could have kind of gone into it some more, and we could have written off like the four. What is it? You said like 22,000 responses or whatever. But all
Yeah,
right. So if you have,
basically.
yeah, yeah. So if you have any questions or just want your voice heard, then DM us at our socials. Send us an email or voice note at exploretheforce@gmail.com. Remember to like this episode, share it with your Star Wars friends and family. To follow us on our socials platforms, all you got to do is search Explore the Force, all one word. And if you're watching on YouTube, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And let us know what you think about Starkiller, and let us know what you think about the Mortis arc and how it, what you think it might tie into Ahsoka season 2, kind of like Old Man Rex did.
Yes. Also, if you want to show your support and spread the word around by image as well as voice, then head over to Redbubble and search Explore the Force, where you can purchase unique merchandise. And a massive thank you to everyone interacting with us via social media. You keep this podcast amazing.
Yes, and finally, you've been listening or watching Explore the Force. We have spoken. We'll see you guys next week.
Only now, at the end, do you understand?
Close your eyes. Feel it.
I am a Senate.
As wise as Master Yoda, as powerful as Master Windu.
They'll do their job well. I'll guarantee that.
I am going to end this once and for all.
Chewie. We're home.
You were the chosen one!